We are awakening together. This is our weekly gathering we hold online. For more information, visit our website, awakening-together.org. We'd love to see you there.
Well, thank you. Thank you, Marisol. I'm going to unspotlight me. Welcome, everyone. So good to be with you today. The name of what I'm going to talk about today is From Claiming to Clarity, Recognizing the Rejection Program. But first, what we do here is we welcome each other on the board as Marisol plays our song, Awakening. Wonderful. Okay, I'm going to read our statement of purpose. We are an assembly of equals, joined in common purpose, awakening to one true self. Within an appearance of many faiths, many cultures, and many, many symbols, we seek to discern one truth and to rest in its embrace. And so each week, the minister picks a core value, and this week it was very apparent that what's going to be talked about is core value number 5. We accept all forms as temporary appearances through enduring awareness of self. We live this value by honoring all appearances and all experiences while continually reflecting on changeless truth. Open hands, wide open hearts unto our God. We are here because we are called. Grace has put this call in our heart. We long to be free. We long to know a life, experience where grace lives through us and as us. We ask to be shown what we are to see today. We ask to be led. And we consent to the presence of the divine within and the divine's action within us, as us all. Amen. Okay, now we're going to go to our reading, which is going to be by my friend Sami Ross, who's going to read Nisargadatta from I Am That, and she's going to read most of chapter 3. So, Sami, if I could ask you to read now.
Thank you. Good morning. A reading from Sri Nisargadatta Maharaj, I Am That. Chapter 3, The Living Present. Questioner, as I can see, there is nothing wrong with my body or my real being. Both are not of my making and need not be improved upon. What has gone wrong is the, quote, inner body. Call it mind, consciousness, whatever the name. Maharaj, what do you consider to be wrong with our mind? Questioner, it is restless, greedy of the pleasant and afraid of the unpleasant. Maharaj, what is wrong with it seeking the pleasant and shirking the unpleasant? Between the banks of pain and pleasure, the river of life flows. It's only when the mind refuses to flow with life and gets stuck at the banks that it becomes a problem. By flowing with life, I mean acceptance. Letting come what comes and go what goes. Desire not, fear not, observe the actual as and when it happens, for you are not what happens. You are to whom it happens. Ultimately, even the observer you are not. You are the ultimate potentiality of which the all-embracing consciousness is the manifestation and expression. Questioner. Yet between the body and the self there lies a cloud of thoughts and feelings, which neither serves the body nor the self. These thoughts and feelings are flimsy, transient, and meaningless, mere mental dust that blinds and chokes, yet they are there, obscuring and destroying. Maharaj. Surely the memory of an event cannot pass for the event itself, nor can the anticipation. There is something exceptional, unique about the present event, which the previous or the coming do not have. There is a livingness about it, an actuality. It stands out as if illuminated. There is the quote, stamp of reality on the actual which the past and future do not have. Questioner, what gives the present that, quote, stamp of reality? Maharaj, there's nothing peculiar in the present event to make it different from the past and the future. For a moment, the past was actual and the future will become so. What makes the present so different? Obviously, my presence. I am real, for I am always now, in the present, and what is with me now shares in my reality. The past is in memory, the future in imagination. There's nothing in the present event itself that makes it stand out as real. It may be some simple periodical occurrence, like the striking of the clock. In spite of our knowing that the successive strokes are identical, the present stroke is quite different from the previous one and the next, as remembered or expected. A thing focused on in the now is with me, for I am ever present. It is my own reality that I impart to the present event. Questioner, but we deal with things remembered as if they are real. Maharaj, we consider memories only when they come into the present. The forgotten is not counted until one is reminded, which implies bringing it into the now. Questioner, yes, I can see there is in the now some unknown factor that gives momentary reality to the transient actuality. Maharaj, you need not say it is unknown, for you see it in constant operation. Since you were born, has it ever changed? Things and thoughts have been changing all the time, but the feeling that what is now is real has never changed, even in dream. Questioner, we shall repeat the question we began with. Between life's source and life's expression, which is the body, there is the mind and its ever-changeful states. The stream of mental states is endless, meaningless, and painful. Pain is the constant factor. What we call pleasure is but a gap, an interval between two painful states. Desire and fear are the woven fabric of living, and both are made of pain. Our question is, can there be a happy mind? Maharaj, desire is the memory of pleasure, and fear is the memory of pain. Both make the mind restless. Moments of pleasure are merely gaps in the stream of pain. How can the mind be happy? Questioner, that is true when we desire pleasure or expect pain, but there are moments of unexpected, unanticipated joy, pure joy, uncontaminated by desire unsought, undeserved, God-given. Maharaj, still, joy is joy only against a background of pain. Questioner, is pain a cosmic fact or pure mental? Maharaj, the universe is complete, and where there is completeness, where nothing lacks, what can give pain? Questioner, the universe may be complete as a whole, but incomplete in details. Maharaj, a part of the whole seen in relation to the whole is also complete. Only when seen in isolation, it becomes deficient and thus a seed of pain. What makes for isolation? Questioner, limitations of the mind, of course. The mind cannot see the whole for the part. Maharaj, good enough. The mind, by its very nature, divides and opposes. Can there be some other mind which unites and harmonizes, which sees the whole in part and the part as totally related to the whole? Questioner, the other mind, where does one look for it? Maharaj, in going beyond the limiting, dividing, and opposing mind, in ending the mental process as we know it. When this comes to an end, that mind is born. Questioner, in that mind, the problems of joy and sorrow exist no longer? Maharaj, not as we know them, as desirable or repugnant. It becomes rather a question of love seeking expression and meeting with obstacles. The inclusive mind is love in action, battling against circumstances, initially frustrated, ultimately victorious. Questioner, between the spirit and the body, is it love that provides the bridge? Maharaj, what else? Mind creates the abyss. The heart crosses it.
Thank you, my friend. Between the spirit and the body, is it love that provides the bridge? Maharaj, what else? Come again, like what else? Between the spirit and the body, is it love that provides the bridge? What else? Mind creates the abyss, and the heart crosses it. Smoldering with love, the heart crosses it. In the story of Anne, 6 weeks ago, my mom died. Brought her in on Christmas, and she was gone by the end of the week. A couple days before New Year's, and so I have had a really, definitely the most intense practice period I've ever had of watching the mind create the abyss. The abyss looks different for all of us, but it's a pretty good description of what mind does. Mind creates the abyss, and then the heart crosses it. And so I want to I'm going to ask Marisol in just a second to play our song. The reason I waited is because in I don't know, maybe a couple weeks ago, I was driving home from, so I've been, ever since COVID, I went down, lived with mom. She had advanced COPD and other lung issues. And we going to kind of ride out what was that called? When you locked everyone in, or, you weren't allowed to go places, the COVID, we were going to ride that out together. And then it became clear that we were to ride out the last chapter together. And so I went down and lived with mom in Florida, and I slowly started to figure out that I can't just stay in her trailer, policing her, putting her mask on every time one of her friends would come to the door. I actually needed to get out and walk. I actually needed to find some parks and find some outsides. And so over the last 3.5, 4 years, I have this whole kind of network of little parks. So for these last 6 weeks, each time I go to a new park, mine comes in and goes, "You have never walked this park before and not gone home to your mom." It's like, it's like, you're right. Well, I mean, you're right. I haven't. Each park, and I got a lot of them. It was like, yeah. And so this is how I've been practicing our core value number 5. Our core value is that we accept all forms as temporary appearances, right? Permitted through this enduring awareness of self, but we live the value by honoring all appearances and all experiences while continually reflecting on changeless truth. Looked up honoring. Honoring means to recognize there's great value in it. So I have really been doing my best to practice. So as I finding great value in these periods of experiences of contrast. So I was driving home from the park the other day, and this song we're about to play came on. I thought I was going to have to pull the car over. It's just if the abyss had the finale of fireworks inside of it, this is what it was. It was just, this song just exploded. And I just kept, driving and crying and driving and crying and blink. If you blink really fast, you can kind of get the water to go. And I realized that this song has, I got conditioned by this song, is what I want to say. This song told me how it was, how life was, and what to look out for, and what was going to happen. And so it is a perfect example of the wrong mind. But for me, it's just an incredible healing opportunity to share it, and then share what I've learned since kind of conditioning myself for decades on this song. I've learned another way to see that I can get access to fairly often. So with that said, I'll ask if Marisol would play this song. It's the song is "Won't Last a Day Without You" by the Carpenters. So thank you, Marisol. Thank you. So when I was driving, and that song played, it's like, that's every program I believed. I can, and mind shows all the pictures. Matter of fact, okay. So I'm in an Airbnb in El Paso, Texas, because I'm visiting mom's. Mom has 2 sisters, and I'm visiting mom's 89-year-old sister here with her 70 young, spry sister. So I brought my aunt a picture that so I'm not at home. I don't have my pictures, but there was one at my mom's house. But let me show you. Let me show you when I started teaching myself that I wouldn't last a day without my mother. I don't know if you can see this, but okay. I'm sorry. Let me try to do. Oh, by the way, okay, that's my mom in the blue. That's my aunt that we're visiting right here, and then the one standing up, all straight and tall. I don't know if you can see me. Straight and tall. Look, just all straight and tall with my little red kids. Just trying to do it right. And that, I looked it up. That's the age I was when that song came out. And I loved it. And it was like, I don't know if my mom knew it was our song, but I did. You know, and like all our moms, right? They were never built to be perfect. But you know, in the story of Anne, I've had several times. I've had some pretty serious illnesses and surgeries, and not knowing if it was going to work out. And when that song played in the car, coming back from the park, I saw the flashes of me. Each time in the recovery room, Mom was a nurse, and she always found a way to get in. You know, you're not really supposed to get in until the ICU. She would find a way to get in. No, she wouldn't stay, but she would find a way to get in. And I don't know if you've ever had surgery, but you know, like you're so thirsty, and they got the lights, and it's like, it's just no. And I can see the eyes opening at my mom's face. And it was like, and I would just go back to sleep, you know, and it was going to be okay. Even after she retired, she flew up several times with the medical issues I've had. So how do you, we accept all forms as temporary appearances, right? That's all temporary. Those are all memories, right? And they're not here anymore. But we live this value by honoring all the appearances and all the experiences. How do I find great value in what can feel like sometimes a slideshow of torture? You know, because I mean, there's not a day that goes by. I mean, my God, I'm in El Paso. My mom loved visiting her sister. My mom would have loved going to the missions. My mom would love, you know, there's nothing we're doing that the whole time mind is going, and your mom's not here. Matter of fact, in the mind dump I did this morning, so each morning I've committed to just dumping out for 3 minutes. See, 3 minutes, my mind can't argue. I don't have 3 minutes. I always have 3 minutes. So that's why I got to 3 minutes. I know we're taught by someone, but by Regina, who would journal for, I imagine, hours and hours, but I can't find a yes to that yet. But I find a continual yes to 3 minutes. And I put this down. So you are nervous. You were up and down all night. Why did you ever say yes to a homily that always makes you nervous in the end? What do you think you have to prove? What are you trying to prove? And sorry to get mean, right? You're never going to get to this. You're never going to get to unity consciousness. What a crock of shit. Ask your twisted up stomach what is real, oh spiritual one. What is real is missing mom. What is real is it making no sense that she's not here. What is real is you are a failure at these mind games where you try to hocus pocus all the sadness away. You are a failure. Stop embarrassing yourself with all this trying, this flailing. Just admit it. You will never be whole. You will never feel complete. You will never know wholeness. You will never know true peace. And the miraculous news that I want to shout from the rooftops is I am at peace. I am very sad sometimes. there's trembling, there's shaking. Often my heart is aching. But here's what Nisargadatta tells us. When a part of the whole, seen in relation to the whole, is also complete. Only when seen in isolation does it become deficient, okay? So when attention goes to the achy heart and mind says, that's all there is, baby. That's what's real. That's where inquiry comes in. Not as a concept. Actually feels a little more like a lifeline, I got to be honest, but it's like sitting right there with the achy heart and asking, what sees this? What holds this? What knows this? And sometimes that's not the question. Sometimes the question is it true there's no peace here at all? Because that's what mind says. You cannot have peace when your heart aches. You can't. It's a conditioned precedent that you have to have a non-achy heart for peace to ensue. And that is not true for me. And so the inquiry question is it really true there is absolutely no peace here? Peace is gone. Is it true that you'll never know true peace? It's not. It's not true. But only when seen in isolation, it becomes deficient, right? Limitation, and then they say, what makes for isolation, right? Nisargadatta asked the questioner, what makes for this isolation? To just feel like this is all there is when we're in pain, when we're feeling all those crazy emotions that we commit to honoring as we go through the purification process, right? What makes for isolation? What makes us think we're separate? Limitations of the mind, of course. The mind cannot see the whole for the part. And Nisargadatta says, good enough, the mind by its very nature divides and opposes. And you can see in this mind dump I did this morning, it wants to oppose and limit and divide everywhere, everything. Can there be, Nisargadatta asks, some other mind which unites and harmonizes, which sees the whole in the part and the part as totally related to the whole? He's using the words, the other mind. Now, by the end of this exchange, he's calling it what it is, which is the heart, right? But for that purpose, he chose to say the other mind. And then the questioner says, the other mind, where does one look for it? It's like, got my attention now, right? In going beyond the limiting, dividing, opposing mind. In ending the mental process as we know it. When this comes to an end, the mind is born. Now, I trust I don't need to say that this egoic sense of self, this movement of mind is not dead here. It's not dead here at all. It plays all the time. That's why I get up every morning and write it out, because it still plays and it still gets attention. But so I used to read this when I'd read Nisargadatta and think, I'm going beyond the limiting, dividing, opposing mind. In ending, I used to think in ending the mental process as we know it. I used to think I had to end it. I thought I had to say no to it. I thought mind was the problem, so I had to reject it. I had to say, enough. And I used to believe I couldn't have peace when mind was moving. And I want to read you the description, because I imagine it's perhaps even written clearer than I can say it right now. This is what this talk is about. It's going from claiming the Anne that has the broken heart, claiming the Anne that can't live a day without her mom. She's made it 6 weeks so far. The one that doesn't belong, not that strong, that one, claiming that. And from claiming to clarity, recognizing the rejection program. This rejection program says, I got to get rid of mind, and I have to get rid of the emotional pain before I can have peace. I have to reject all of this. Like I have to kind of pole over it to get to peace. And what I'm learning is what I wrote in the description, which is ego's fundamental movement is a big fat no to what is. So it's a no to the pain. It's a no to the memories. It's a no to the song. It's a no to all of it. So I went on to write, a primary source of suffering for humans is identifying with the no as the no, with thoughts which say things like, I hate when this happens, or I can't stand that, or I can't stand them, or, oh no, not that. So I used to just even thinking about losing mom was, oh no, it was a no. It was a non-negotiable no. That's just not going to happen. That can't happen. I won't last a day without it. And I used to believe it. So I went on to write, we can only free ourselves from this often unconscious, highly conditioned reactive no, the rejection program, if we actually see it. If I inhabit the pause and I decide for this next day, for this next week, I want to see every single time mind says no. For the one who wills to live from unity consciousness, gaining familiarity with this programmed reactive mechanism is imperative. And then it says to join me as I share my journey from this conditioned claiming of the no to the clarity that this is indeed a program. And it can be let go. So this is the next little iteration of this journey for me is, okay, great. Now I see it's a program. There's this reactive no. There's this conditioning. And then mind says, one and done, baby. Mind says, you already saw that. You let that go yesterday. It's back today. It says, because it's back today, you're a failure. Because you're rejecting more things today, you should just give all this up. And so the very programmed response that says no has a secondary program response that says, gotcha, sucker. Every time. And if so I get good, better and better at not identifying with the first no to what is, because of course we all know we want to accept what is, right? But then this other little sneaky program comes in and goes, oh, see, this is still here. You're a mess. Look at that. So that the second program comes in, I don't see it as a program, and that gets identified with. So getting better at noticing the secondary program. And so then the third little movement of this 3-act play for me is I notice the no, and I'm like, all right, I'm on to this. I'm going to be with the no. And then I notice that you suck. Look at you. You're having this, everyone else is out there, and you're sitting in here resting, accepting, and trusting, or whatever the hell it is. It's like, no, that's another program. I'm not going to identify. And so as I rest, the 3rd act comes in. This frickin' wave of anguish, this shudder of sadness, this kind of avalanche of sorrow comes in. And with it, this little whisper and says, see, it is real. This is you. And that's my learning edge, to sit right there and let the waves crash and will to honor that. Not just tolerate it, but to honor that as the healing that it is. Every time I agree with and run with the no, that can't happen, the rejection program, the not this, I not only have the experience of this body being like a metal container that someone just put a little bomb in and put the lid on. When I say no, it reverberates so tight and really intricately, excruciatingly. The second I go, okay, this is what there's nothing fancy about the words I use. It's like, wow, this is a wave. I say yes. This is a wave. I say yes. When I do that, when I can move into that, it does feel like someone has taken my finger and stuck it into an electrical socket. Like it does feel quite, it feels like a current is moving through me, not a pleasant one. However, it's less and less scary. It's more and more I would just call it intense. And I attention holding. It's like, I'm not looking away from this. I'm not doing any self-inquiry then. I just stay right there. And I just let this crazy energy. I mean, and I was going to say, it happened this morning. Most mornings, not, I don't know how many, but if I had to guess, 8 out of 10 mornings, I wake up with a no, what? No, this is not going to, no. Like it dawns on me like I'm awake and mom's not here. And there's this instant total reactiveness that says no. And so I lie there and I let the no, that initial wave of no, have its initial say. And this is also part of what has been very helpful, is to check each time. Is there any rejection program playing right now? And while I certainly love that brings me to clarity, like I was saying, it feels more like a lifeline, because if there is any rejection playing, it gets so much bigger, so much hotter, so much more tangled, so much quicker. And then I've got a whole lot more resting to do. I don't have any illusion I'm in charge of that. I'm just watching. And this is what happens. So when I don't just write all these crazy thoughts out, I go back and ask, what's the hidden assumption here with this thought? Like, you are nervous. What's the hidden assumption? I shouldn't be. Well, I don't know. I don't know that I should or shouldn't be. I'm a little nervous talking in front of people and being called a minister and having this be called a homily. I mean, I don't know if I should not. Who's to say I shouldn't? That shouldn't make. It does make me nervous. It does make me. So what's the hidden assumption? It shouldn't. Is that true? No, it's not true. What is that? That's imagination. This mind is imagining this other scenario where I don't know. I listen to that song and I don't cry, or I don't feel sad, or I don't know what mind imagines, but I don't really have to give it that much attention, because I can just look, and anytime it says something that is, should not be, I can choose to be on the side of reality. And I can just say it is. How about it is what it is? And I shift to that. You're up and down all night. What's the hidden? Shouldn't be. Why'd you ever say to the homily? Well, first of all, why did you ever say yes to the homily? Trust me. I didn't say yes to the homily. I checked for guidance. Guidance said yes to the homily. I feel perfectly content with my full plate. What I imagine and what I judge as a full plate. So what's the hidden assumption there? I'm a doer and I did it wrong. That's what it is, right? You're not just the doer, but you did it wrong. Okay. It always makes you nervous in the end. What's the hidden assumption? It shouldn't. What do you think you have to prove? What's the hidden assumption there? What do you think you have to prove? What are you trying to prove? The one I could find is there's a me. You see how it wants to make a me? It's going to throw some shade. I don't have any sense of trying to prove a thing. And yet, by the question, it makes the me that then feels a little tight. And when I wrote what the feelings were, because on the other side, so I write the thoughts in the middle and I write hidden assumptions on this side and I write the thoughts. I mean, is it a thought? Yes, but I write the feelings because I don't want to suppress it. I don't want to push anything down. And also, I don't want rejection or shame or blame or claim to be my offering to the whole. Right? No, I don't want to extend that further here or further in the here, in the big H here. So what are you trying to prove? What I could see, and I could see this. I could see fear of uncertainty, claiming, blaming, shaming, and then I could see accusatory, and this making of the me, and like it's a shaming me, like, oh, look at you, like. I don't like, look at me what? Like, I don't even know. Sometimes when I really try to like be with it, at some point, I don't even know what it's talking about, but it's still wagging its finger. And it's like, all right. So I put like accusatory, I put like scolding, and then like, you're never going to get this, you're never going to see from unity consciousness. So there's what I write that as scolding energy. And then what a crock of shit. Okay. So now it's down to ridiculing energy, right? And then ask your twisted up stomach what's real. Oh, spiritual one. So that's claiming and blaming and shaming. It's like there's this program that runs like which says you should be ashamed that you're reacting to these mean, horrible thoughts that keep coming in that you used to give believing attention to that you don't anymore. But we all know the reason we're feeling it right now is because we already threw that boomerang out. We threw that out in the past, and it's coming back now, saying, do you want to recognize the truth of what you are now and just let it die on this hill? Just rest, accept, and trust, and allow this energy to come through now? Or is now not convenient, honey? Because don't worry, you can push pause. We'll come back again. You can, free son of God, but you don't have to. You could stand right here and let it burn. So what's the hidden assumption with the what a crock of shit? That it should be different, that all this should be different. It's just a general, see, sometimes the rejection can reject specific things, but oftentimes I notice that the abyss that mind creates, what it works with is just this general rejection, like everything's just a crock of shit. It's like, it is, but until I listen and I look, and it's like, well, I don't know, but it should be different. How do I know it should be different? I mean, different how, and who's talking, and who are they even talking to? And at some point, that's enough, because obviously disidentification has happened. And now I can just rest with these energies, with this shame and this blame and this. And then it says, what's real is missing mom. So what's the hidden assumption there? That it should be different. Either I shouldn't miss her, which I just think that'd be odd, or she shouldn't have died. And then the question is, ever? Ever? Like this will, whatever that, the rejection program is now going to reject the natural order of things. No death ever? What? Nobody ever? And like running with that, oh my God, that's a lifetime of pain. My aunt said to me again yesterday, she said, I said, yeah. She said, how you doing? I said, oh, my heart's achy, but I'm doing good. She goes, it'll never go away. She said, it'll never go away. You just tuck it in, honey. And I just gave her a hug. I do not spend most of my days with an achy heart. I spend intense minutes. I do not even spend hours. That's not true. I have yet to see 60 minutes on a clock. Is that an hour? 60 minutes? Yeah, on a clock. And all of those minutes, I was like, just absolutely tied up. That's not true. It is waves and it comes and goes. But if I don't stop and inquire and check, is peace here? I won't notice the gaps, because mind has a story that says the whole thing is a crock, right? So moving closer to these energies is how I honor them. And I actually kind of hold them and allow them, and then just trust them. So the last prompt that comes is to read to you from a kind of some inner wisdom prayer that came the other day. Oh, here it is. Because this has been very helpful. Breathing has been very helpful. When mom was finally a couple days into the stay, decided that she wanted to end her life, have her life end. And so they put in the morphine, the hospice drug. So they pushed the couple of milligrams of morphine every 15 minutes. And I slowly watched the labored breathing go to this smooth, rhythmic breathing that I had never seen her breathe. So I used to try to help her with belly breathing. And she said, my belly doesn't breathe. And, so she was never interested in trying to take a deep breath. It just wasn't going to be her path in life, even when she couldn't breathe. So the gift I got was the last 24 hours when she was unconscious, but her hand was still really, really warm. And I just held her hand, and she breathed so deep, so fully. And the hospice guy came in and showed us how, he goes, don't take this the wrong way, but this is what we like to see. We really like to see this, because they showed how every line was gone from her forehead and her face, all of them. And she was just breathing. And so I've had a very healing relationship with breath. So let me end by reading this. And this is called Trusting the Breath is Trusting Life. In every moment, we are either being breathed or about to be. The cycle of breath is the gift that keeps giving and giving and giving. We don't need to think about it, get it right. We don't even need to notice for this gift to be continually extended to us. Life is always with us. It is us. To quote the song we're about to hear, Blue Doty. So, the breath serves as a constant companion, a mighty symbol of the grace which pours forth in every moment, animating all that is, alive, vibrant. The breath, however, is not particular. It breathes equally the strong and the still awaiting strength to return, the young and the older, the novice and the master. Trusting the breath is not what we do. Even our best efforts to stay present to it eventually collapse into a spasm of distraction. Trusting the breath is what we are. That is the process of life living us. So trusting the breath is giving our trust to the mighty, ever-renewing, revitalizing intelligence of life itself. Trusting the breath is trusting the essence, the love of this brilliant, creative mystery that we are. What we are is that we are. An ongoing process of love giving to us, through us, that which love desires to give. The shorthand version of this trust can be summed up in 4 words. Thy will be done. Trusting the breath is putting the fullness of our faith as well as, right? Because we're honoring all appearances. So trusting the breath is putting the fullness of our faith as well as our fears, our doubts, our worries in the mystery of life itself. We offer it up, all of it. It's our sacred offering. Forget your perfect offering. Offer what you have. We offer it up in trust. When we truly trust the breath, we are offered relief, release, and renewal. When we trust the breath, we can be still, and we can know God is. And this song we're about to play is one of the first songs I ever heard when I stumbled into this spiritual place, this church in New Jersey called the Center for Conscious Living. And Lou used to come and play it live. And it really got me through. And it's a real gift. And so I'd ask if Marisol could play this song by Lou Doty called Breathe. Thank you. And I forgot to add that we are an organization that trusts everyone's led by their own unique inner guidance. And if you have the unique inner guidance to donate to Awakening Together, this is the opportunity to do that, either the QR code or the donate link. This organization is so near and dear to my heart, and I know it is to yours. And so we just trust it. We trust it all. So if the prompt is there, great. If the prompt isn't there, we trust that. So this is our chance. So we have this little time in our weekly gathering because we're all in a communal relationship with each other, and this just gives us a chance to have this be a formal part of the service. So anyone that feels prompted, please do so indicate. I was going to say, I for one adore the silence and looking at all of you. So my friend Rhoda, hello.
Leave it to Rhoda to break that silence.
Right on.
Just want to echo what I've seen so clearly spoken in the chat. And there's just so much gratitude for the demonstration of the practice in lived life. As I hear you express the constant looking and the constant being with, as much as it's remembered and as much as it can be brought to the light, it just inspires me to keep with it. And so thank you for the demonstration, because mind would say this particular course of events, utter and complete BS, then anyone could live through it. Like, that's what mind likes to say. And hearing how you honor, how you teach us the value of honoring temporary appearances, and by not rejecting them, by not pushing the no aside, and not denying the expression of consciousness, is just a gift, such a gift. And as I've seen so many people say, thank you for the story of Anne. Love you madly.
Thank you. Okay, can we play a song? Can I play you one more song? All right. So
Tina has her hand up.
Oh, I'm sorry, I missed it. There you go, Tina. Thank you, Marisol.
I'm good with another song too. I just wanted to say that whenever you speak, I wrote down exactly what Rhoda said. I guess it's not weird, right? But it's like we honor all appearances. And when you honor all appearances and share vulnerably with the group as you do, the way the journey is, doesn't matter what it looks like, you just lay it out. I'm so grateful because that allows me to do the same. And it shows me that, I don't need the false protection of the ego. It's okay to just be here. If I'm not on, the first principle, I can be where I am and know that it may not, it could be wrong, but that it can move forward if I just honor what is here, where I am now, and that it's up to the Holy Spirit to move forward, move us into the next thing, not up to ego and self. And I really appreciate you sharing your journey through this experience with your mother. I love you. Bye. That's it.
Thank you, Tina. I love you. All right, so I'm going to just read. This is the line that got me about this whole passage. The reason I picked this reading was this was what's wrong with seeking the pleasant and shirking the unpleasant, right? Between the banks of pain and pleasure, the river of life flows. It's only when the mind refuses to flow with life and gets stuck at the banks that it becomes that's the no. It's stuck at the banks, right? By flowing with life, I mean acceptance, letting come what comes, and go what goes. Desire not, feel not. We just observe the actual. And so the song I'd ask if Marisol would play is called Let the River Run. And trembly, shaking, sometimes our heart is aching, but we let that river run by Carly Simon. Thank you, Marisol. Thank you all very much. I love you.
You've been watching our online gathering. It happens weekly on Sundays at 10:15 a.m. Eastern Time. To join us live in the sanctuary, visit our website, awakening-together.org. You'll want to click on Online Sanctuary in the main menu, and then in the drop-down menu, look for How to Enter the Sanctuary. Right there at the top of the page is a clickable link. We'd love to see you in the sanctuary and join with you in fellowship. Thank you again for watching. Also, please know that if you'd like to stay connected via the Awakening Together channel here on YouTube, you can subscribe and hit the bell for more notifications. We hope to see you in the sanctuary.